Everyone is calling Lamine Yamal the next Messi. And will he win the Ballon d'Or 2025? Guys, let's break it down. Why is Lamine Yamal so hyped right now?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
let's speak about a little bit about his age, his stats, and what is he doing right now? His achievements, and everything like that. Talk to me, guys.
Right now, he's super young. I'm literally older than him, which is crazy. I'm 18. He's 17, bro. Like he's already like part of the national team, part of one of the best versions of Barca we've seen in a while. He's won the Euros, he's won the La Liga, he's won the Copa del Rey. He's done a lot of stuff. All that with being top of his game. With goals, assists. At that age, that is very good for what he's doing right now. So.
And I think the highlight is that he's 17. So I think like for a 17-year-old to be doing what we typically expect like an older person to be doing is crazy. And at that level, like he's not just playing like sub 21. He's playing like actual starter for the first team and being part of the main squad. So seeing that in real life is just absolutely crazy.
Let's look a little bit at his stats to see why is people hyping him up. We need to see why is he being compared to Messi as well.
Yeah.
Right. So it says that he played in his first game, Barcelona game, in the first team. It was when he was 15 years old.
Yo, crazy, bro. 15, I was still playing.
He has been the youngest player to play in La Copa del Rey, La Liga, Supercopa, and Champions League.
Oh yeah, Supercopa.
And also his national team, Spain. He is the youngest player ever to score at only 16 years old. And he has won as we saw, he has won the player of the tournament and the goal of the tournament of Euro 2024.
Yeah. I think that seeing Lamine Yamal is very interesting because we're like, I guess we're just we're coming out of an era of Messi and Ronaldo, and now we're seeing these new players, and we've also been going through Mbappe and Haaland, but respectively they were at a certain level or a certain age and playing at that stage, but now we have this new player who's coming in when he came in, where he debuted at 15, which again is crazy. 15, 16. So at a young age, bro, I was not like, I was still playing in the park. I was still playing like in the field or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like playing out like literally outside my house.
I was barely on my high school team, bro.
Yeah, this guy was on the bench, bro.
I was on the bench, bro. This guy's like playing like
this
for
guy's
Spain.
not only playing in a big field with like a bunch of news coverage, a bunch of things, but he's playing in a huge field and making money like on top of everything.
Yeah.
So like that being his career and him already winning what he's won at this international level, at a world stage level, is again absolutely like crazy.
I mean, one of the things that out of all the trophies that he has won, I've seen that the major awards that he has won was the Golden Boy. Mm-hmm. Golden Boy which is awarded by the European newspaper Tuttosport. It's an annual prize given to the best young under 21 football player in Europe. Mm-hmm. And the second one has been the Copa Trophy, which is awarded by France Football. Is during the ceremony of Ballon d'Or. He was awarded for that. It recognizes the best player under the 21 in the world. And also Laureus Breakthrough of the Year 2025, which is globally recognized as the sports honor celebrating athletes who make a spectacular impact early in their careers. And also, one of the things that I was surprised, like he has also won the world's best youth player 2024. And so my man is making an impact being young, right? He's not even like they say, like old enough to do what because he's 17. He's gonna be 18 in July, if I'm not mistaken.
Gonna be 18.
Right, but tell me a little bit about his playing style. What do you guys think about his playing style?
I think right now during a time where we're like Hamix was talking about, we're past that like era of like Messi and Ronaldo. And a lot of teams like are lacking in creativity, and I think Lamine Yamal, especially at that age, he brings that like to Barcelona, to Spain, where he like just straight up enjoys playing soccer. Like I don't know like what it is, but at that age, like he just straight up, he's running as best as he can. He treads back, he helps the defense as well. And times when you have your role as a winger and you just stay up. right? But Lamine, he just has that talent of, just playing soccer for fun, and somehow it's working, and he's doing great, for Spain and for Barcelona. And I think that play style is really nice, especially like he's left-footed, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they're always comparing him to Messi with the left foot, right? On the right wing, and those beautiful Trivela passes as you've seen, and yeah, he's just great and assisting and scoring, and I like how he carries himself in a very secure way. At that age, people will probably be like shy or whatever. Right. But this kid, he really like he talks his talk and he walks his walk, which is crazy because he talks a lot, right? Which is okay. But what's crazy is that he actually he actually does what he says, right? And especially at that age, and it's funny because he's already in the conversation, right? When before, like you were talking about how like people would always be like, oh, is Mbappe the next Ronaldo or is Haaland the next whatever, right? Lamine at that age, he's in the conversation, right? Which is actually crazy. At that age, at 17 years old, people are already saying they're comparing him to Messi, they're comparing him to Neymar, which is wild, right? So I think that's super interesting, and to see like that play style, to be like, hey, he kind of plays like he does things that Neymar does, or he did things that Ronaldinho does, stuff like that, right? So to see a player at that age and being compared to the greats is crazy, especially at that age.
I think he has like a good point. Like he's saying like the play styles, like the way Lamine Yamal plays is very like he's literally just like a kid having fun. I think that's a good emphasis to put on him because he's not like. I feel like sometimes when you go into like career in soccer, like it's very structured. So like they're like, oh, you got to do this. But sometimes they forget that sometimes thinking outside the box is what can help the team overall with new ways of trying to find a pass or new ways of trying to do this. And not just that, but I feel like he himself is a very creative in a way where he can, he goes for a dribble. He goes for like he said, a Trivela pass. I think all of these things are like very key components to him being like this player. Not just that, but also I was like, yo, this is a talent that was produced in La Masia by Barcelona.
Yeah.
That's something so crazy because he's starting through the academy, from the academy going to the first team. And Barcelona has been known to produce young generational talent, and it's crazy because they continue producing. Messi also, had to start in La Masia. Now we see Lamine Yamal also, going through La Masia. Not just that,
Messi
but...
beat them, bro.
What happened?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, yo.
Dude, oh my God.
That lab, bro.
I'm sorry, I just had to come up with it.
Yo, it was like, there's so many memes online. It was like, yo, Messi give him the blessing.
The
That's it,
yeah,
bro. It's crazy. Yeah.
That Python, bro.
Yeah, bro. Give him the blessing. But not just that, but it's players like Pau Cubarsí, Fermin, all these different players, Pedri, being helped with or by Barcelona, to make it to the first team, and all these things are just key components for Barcelona's team overall improving. So I think this is something very
and also like cool. A quick side note, I want to congratulate Barca. Actually, I'm a Madrid
fan. Thank you,
I'm a
bro.
Madrid
Thank
fan,
you
so
much,
this
bro.
kind of not hurts, but like it's kind of I have to say this, but like that's what I like about Barcelona. They use their youth, like academy. They use the I don't know, like the youth that they have in their
they
team.
take a chance on the young players.
Yeah, exactly. Like they trust their people to like play, even though they're young, right? Like for Real Madrid, bro, like Endrick, like Gulair, like he's on the bench, and I don't know, like they haven't taken advantage of their youth. So yeah, Barca has allowed for their youth to take control on the field, and that's what made Lamine like be able to play so good. They had so many minutes to play, like it gave them the chance, they gave them the opportunity to do so. So yeah. I think that's good on Barca.
Bro. He's gonna dance on you, bro.
Yeah. Okay, move on. Okay.
I like how you guys say that he enjoys when he plays.
Yeah.
And one of the things, it reminds me of Ronaldinho. He was a very exceptional player, but what made him dangerous, what makes a player dangerous, is when they enjoy what they're doing.
When they have fun, bro.
When they just have fun. That's why when coaches they tell them like just have fun, have fun out there. Because you make mistakes, but if you're enjoying what you're doing, you're having fun what you're doing, you could be dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we see that in Lamine Yamal. Not only does he have exceptional dribbling, he has excellent change of pace. He has also, like you guys were talking about, the passing, the crosses with the Trivela, but also he has vision, which makes him also dangerous because he knows when to pass, he knows when to shoot, or he knows when to assist.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a person dangerous in the field.
Yeah,
Right.
I think also is the confidence, like to take on a person one on one,
Yeah.
and to like not be scared of it, and to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go, like I don't care. Right?
My man, he was 15, 16,
Yeah, exactly.
competing against grown men.
Yeah, I
that
know,
guy
it's crazy.
And the advantage of physical advantage
Yeah.
is a lot. So that's why he has to depend a lot on his agility, his quickness, his
speed,
change of
yeah.
pace, right?
Quick thinking too.
Yeah.
Quick
To know what to do.
Yeah.
But you know, as much as we can talk about like you know all his like good qualities and everything, I brought up this question to you because I was also you know I'm a Barca fan and I really like Lamine Yamal. Me personally, he's not like you know my favorite player on the team, but I was talking to Simri about this and I was like, yo, wait, hold on, because I was like, wait a minute, because I saw a video on Instagram that was like, oh, is Lamine Yamal like actually like you know like this a crucial player to the team, or is he you know overrated basically? And then I started thinking, I was like, wait a minute, if he wasn't 17 and he was like you know at a different age, I'm like, would he still have that same like you know talk that the people are talking right now? Because his PR team and the team in Barca is working like overtime on like saying that he's like 17, that he's really young.
Yeah, that's true.
Saying you know, and not just that, but like all like you know the push for this guy. He's got like he had a sponsorship with Beats recently, you know, because he be dancing on the field, you know, dancing on the field, off the field. So you know, like
You
they
gotta
got
pick
like,
up his pants, bro.
yeah, bro, they got you gotta pick up his pants, bro.
You gotta pick up his pants. You gotta take out his hat in interviews, bro. That
Yeah,
guy is
but
slacking, bro.
he's got this commercial with Beats. He's made
It's a
like
shoe
a
deal, right?
huh?
Is it Adidas, I think. A shoe
Yeah,
deal.
another thing with Adidas. So the question is like, yo, are we seeing a lot of him more in his like marketing and his like commercials, or are we actually seeing like genuine stats? Because you know we're in a new generation of like TikTok and like
Yeah.
Reels and like social media.
true.
So is his social media presence higher than his like actual skills on the field? So that was something that I had to think about. I was like, wait a minute, yeah, because like I've seen him play in Barca games, and sometimes like I don't see him like at all. Like I see that they sub him off, or like you know he doesn't make that crazy impact. So the question is he a player that can carry a team on his back yet? So that's like you know what I was like thinking about. I don't know about you. Do you think that he can carry a team on his back?
That's a
yet?
good question actually, because you know when we talk about like flair and stuff like that, he has it. Like he really does.
Yeah.
But I've seen games where like, as I said before, like Barca like has been struggling all season against low block teams, against teams who hold their defense all the way back like to the goalkeeper, and like Yamin and
Yamin, bro.
Lamine,
Yamin, yeah, Yamin,
Lamine,
nice.
yeah. Lamine and Rafinha were not able to break through. So I don't know. For me personally, I think a person in the like this is personal, like my opinion, but I think a person like Pedri, like in the midfield, is much more important to have to control the midfield. It's much more important than to control the offense. But that's just me.
You know, cause I asked myself that question. I told him I was like, if you take out Lamine Yamal, you can put another striker. But if you take out like you know the team has a harder time of like you know working as like as a unit. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that.
Well, we saw it. Well, not with Barcelona, but we saw it with Spain when Nuno Mendes had him locked in.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Right. I think if he would have played well, I believe probably Spain would have beat Portugal.
Yes.
But since Nuno Mendes or maybe the coach, who knows,
Had him like-
they probably told him, "Yo, get him locked in."
He had him in here, bro. I was like,
Pocket.
Mendes was like,
Okay,
yo,
Okay,
Lamine.
right,
Like,
so you're saying once they contained Lamine, then everything was fine. They're like, okay, just contain Lamine, and then that's it. Just everything will like be better for Portugal.
Yeah, because him and Nico Williams, they're like the danger in the sides. He's a right winger.
Yeah,
They have a
on the
duel,
wings, yeah.
That's why no wonder they want to get him for Barcelona.
Yeah, bro.
There's rumors.
Yo.
What you guys think?
We're gonna
We'll
Barcelona
see.
fans?
We'll see, bro. If we were right, bro. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
You guys think he's gonna go to Barcelona or he's gonna go to Bayern? Who knows?
We'll see, bro. But no, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm like, is it so they contained Lamine Yamal in that game, and then you know nothing else
happens?
happened. There was
Yeah.
no like you know they got like stuck there.
But also we saw that I don't know if he was not confident, Lamine Yamal, because you could also see that his dribbling was not on point.
He did have a lot of opportunities to score, and he did not.
And
Like he was in front of the goal.
Also,
and
his dribbling, he lost the
Yeah.
ball like
Yeah.
very easy.
Yeah, what is his finishing, bro? Like his
his
finishing
finishing
is sometimes
is-
crazy, or it's like right to the keeper, and it's like, damn, man. Like if that would have been better, I feel like he would have created more chances.
I don't wanna compare, right, to Yamin. I understand Lamine Yamal is like a way better player than this other player. But like from what you're telling me, it reminds me a lot of Garnacho, and now you're gonna be like, "Yo,
Yo,
that's crazy."
Garnacho,
I'm just saying,
get
no, I
the heck
know
outta
the
here.
comparison is really like, bro. I'm
Yo.
telling you right now, I promise you, Garnacho. Okay, Lamine Yamal is way better than Garnacho, but I'm just saying like from what I'm seeing from him playing United, you like what you're telling me is giving me the same vibes of like, bro, this guy like he's great on the wing, he's great at dribbling, but like he just cannot finish. Like you have no idea like if he's good or not, and he's not dependable. You know what I mean? And it's very hard to keep a player that young and to be like, oh, I don't know, like. I don't know what day it is going to be for him. Is it going to be a good day for him? Is it going to be a bad day for him? Like, I don't know. Like, so I don't know if you think, like, Yamal is, like, it depends on the day. Like, he could be, like, crazy one day, and then the next day he could be, like, you know, not that good. Or, like, what do you think? Like,
Or better question is, do you guys think that the media is overhyping him?
yeah, or that.
See that's another thing, because remember I was telling you because I had this conversation like previously before with him, and I was telling him like, oh, you know how like we're closer to the Ballon d'Or race, and you know that's like something that is like very important that's coming up, and I was telling him, I was like, yo, how is it possible? Because then I started thinking more, and I was like, how is it possible that Neymar didn't win his Ballon d'Or, and he was crazy, and Neymar really stepped up for when Messi was injured, you know, during a certain time. Neymar stepped up and filled in literally Messi's shoes and was able to also help Barca, you know, win their games and win their matches, and was also a very key important player. And you know the things that he's done, his own personal stats and his own role as a crucial player. Not like living in the time period where we're like, damn, like Lamine is he really this close to winning the Ballon d'Or more than Neymar was during his time period. And Neymar had to fight literally against Messi and Ronaldo when they were like, you know, at their like really high peak in their career. Yeah. So then it's like, damn, how is it possible that this kid is close, or we see him as close to winning the Ballon d'Or? Then I started thinking, I was like, damn, is Lamine Yamal really like worthy of winning like this Ballon d'Or in the time period that we are right now?
But one of the things we also have to say is that when somebody's overhyped, it can be dangerous. They could become danger in that because I don't know if you remember, we seen in the press conference when they asked Cristiano Ronaldo what they think about the Lamine Yamal, and he says, well, the kid has talent, but he said something very wise that I respect. Cristiano Ronaldo, right? A lot of people say he's arrogant and prideful, which sometimes, you know, he might be a little bit too much, but he's a little confident. You know, we respect, you know, that he's disciplined. You know, he has showed that he is one of the best. But one of the things that I respect, because he knows when he was young too, he said to the press, he said, you know, I encourage you guys to kind of like let him be. Don't put pressure on him, because that can be dangerous. Because when you put too much pressure on a young person, you know, a lot of fans, they're gonna expect for him to always do perfect, always do good, right? And that can bring a mental pressure to somebody, and also over burnout to their lives, and that could be dangerous too, because we see the example of various wonder kids.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of them.
And because they didn't live up to the expectation of the people, that's why we saw they failed.
And the expectation grows higher, because then you start like wanting, you're like, okay, you scored 30 goals last season, then you gotta score, that's like your minimum now. Now you can only score 30 goals and up. If you score less than 30 goals, then you suck, bro. Or like you know, then it's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean I suck? Like 30 goals is crazy already, the stat in of its own, you know. So then now it's like, okay, so that means that's kind of scary, because now if he's this young, at like 23, let's say he has a bad season, and like instead of scoring like, I don't know, 60 goals or whatever, he scores like 50, then they're like, oh, he's declining, and then that gets to a player's head, you know?
Yeah, I think that kind of happened with Mbappe. Like, we saw him, like, really young, at a really young age, win the World Cup. And I don't know, I think he was 19 or 18. I'm not sure.
Somewhere
Around there, and he won the World Cup. And they're like, yo, this guy's crazy. You know, he's gonna be the next Messi or whatever, right? The same conversation. And then once the years go by, I don't know how old he is. Like now, 26, 25, 20, around there. He's like in mid 20s, early 20s, right? And now people like, especially when he joined to Madrid, everyone's like, "Yo, this guy's washed, bro. I don't know why he went to Madrid, whatever." So it's like that weird.
Like, you suck.
Yeah,
bro.
that guy suck. It's just like, this weird stage of like, oh, like you were 18, and people were like, "Oh, that was your prime. Your prime was when you were young." But people forget like you're supposed to get better, and he's still pretty young. You're still like 22, 23, right? But the fact that like your best years were that year, you kind of have that expectation of like, oh, like. This is what we expect from you. We expect you to win the World Cup every single 4 years, right? Every single time, we expect you to perform to the max level, right? And I think that's been going on a lot in the Bernabeu, especially in Madrid, where there's this huge expectation on you of like, yo, I need to see like a show, right? Not just to win the game, but I need you to like put flair. I need you to score goals. I need you to put assists, and that's what happened to Endrick too. Of like being like, oh, this wonder kid from Brazil, right? Oh my God, he's crazy.
He's considered the next Pelé.
Exactly, the
But
next
he's
Pelé,
like in
bro.
the bench, bro.
Yeah,
He's playing the hardest position in Real Madrid, bro.
Yeah, I know, and that's the problem with the Bernabeu for me. It's like, oh, every time you go, you expect a spectacle, right? Of your players, of your team, of your wonder kids, right? And when you don't see that, you're like, I didn't get my money's worth. Exactly,
Yeah,
you're like,
you
you
suck.
suck. Even though we won, we're like, you guys suck, right? So this is this weird like
They don't give them a chance to grow.
It's
They
weird
just,
culture
let
of
them,
like, yeah, exactly.
Just bash.
And the most dangerous thing is that, yes, we know that there's always going to be expectations from fans, and there's always going to be criticism. We learned that in life. You do good, you're going to be criticized. You do bad, you're still going to be criticized, right? But one thing is, a dangerous thing can be is when clubs or the clubs or coaches, they rush them into games.
Yeah.
Because they want them to keep up the expectation, right? But that can be a risk of injuries, as we saw with Ansu Fati, right? If you guys haven't seen the video, there's a link there. You guys can watch it. We talked about it. Ansu Fati, what happened to him, right? He was going to be considered one of the best. He was considered the heir of Messi.
Yeah, he even got the 10, bro.
Because he got the number 10, right?
He got the 10,
And so what happened with him is injuries, knee injury, right? And we believe like he was probably rushed into games again. We saw as well as what happened to Giovanni Dos Santos. Giovanni Dos Santos was going to be the next Ronaldinho, right? But we saw inconsistency in games. He didn't really get the time that he needed because he couldn't compare himself to Messi, right? There was a lot of players that they were on their prime, and also he did really bad choices on choosing clubs afterwards. We also see it with Bojan. I don't know if you guys remember. He was also considered to be the new Messi.
Yo, everybody's a new
Messi.
Messi. Everybody's a new Messi.
And so that's what I'm saying. That there's a danger to compare people to be like,
true.
yo, you're the next Messi, you're the next Ronaldinho, right?
And they're like, but I just want to play.
And that's why.
It's not fun, bro.
And that's why I like what Cristiano Ronaldo said. Yo, let them be. Let them grow. You know, don't put too much pressure on the young man.
Just enjoy the game, bro.
Yeah,
it's not every time that you get to see a young wonder kid, have his game time like that.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't know if this is true, but I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. Like especially because again, soccer, like you watch it, but it's also business, right? You get money out of it.
Of course.
And I feel like especially the presidents of these clubs, like when they see a player gets like a lot of media attention and they get a lot of money from that player, and people who pay tickets to like to the stadiums, they want to see that player. So they're like, yo, they tell the coach, yo, put that player. I don't care if this guy's injured. I don't care if like put the player because So I feel like that's been happening a lot, especially for like the new Messis or whatever. They're like, yo, put this player.
The new Messis.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
The whole team of new next Messis.
Also, as him being young, Lamine Yamal is that he should also take care of himself of not being too prideful or arrogant. Right, like
pick your pants up, bro.
Pick your pants up, bro.
Picking his pants up, right? But that's where he needs to also be wise, of having wise mentors. The Word of God says that pride comes before the fall. Right, it's when somebody thinks that they're too high, like nobody can tell him what to do, and we see the evidence of that. Right, number one is that you think you know it all. Right? Nobody can tell you what to do. Right? And that comes with fame and with money, especially, right? When those people are up there, and especially with Lamine Yamal, him being young, he is very vulnerable at that. And also we see when arrogance and pride comes, you don't receive correction because you think you're doing right. You think you are right, and you think you don't need to change others need to change, right? And that's why the word of God is clear. It says pride comes before the fall, right? And in other words, that's the platform for you to be led to disaster or to failure.
Yeah.
And what is the cure for that is having the fear of the Lord. And what is the fear of the Lord is when you depend on him, on everything. First, you recognize that without him, you cannot do anything. That everything that you have is because of him. My talent, my life belongs to him. That is true humility, right? Humility is not you being shy or you thinking that, you're the worst thing. No, humility is depending on God.
Yeah.
More than having a sweater that says fear of God, it's knowing that you depend on God, showing with your actions that you depend on the Lord on everything. And with that being said, as a young person, we need to learn from others, because one of the things that we need to understand is that there's always going to be somebody better than me, better at what I do. And when I realize that, when I learn that, I'm always going to be learning, because I want to learn from that person. Right? And other than that, I'm also going to listen to others, right? I don't know it all. You don't know it all. Especially you don't know it all.
Especially
right?
you.
I'm saying that because you're young.
I don't know, yeah.
Right? Yeah, when a young person, you tell them something, it's like, yeah, I know. Like, and then they do it, and they mess it up.
Like,
right? No, you don't know, right?
Yeah.
And so as young people, we need to learn that we are always, every day we learn something, right? And so we need to always be open to learning and to listening to advice, especially godly, wise advice from others, right? And receiving correction, right? A lot of us, we don't like to receive correction, right?
Yeah.
There's people like they correct us like, being kind of evil, but other than that, whatever, you just receive that, like, yeah, what am I doing, right? And acknowledging that, that there is room for growth, right? And so with that being said, will Lamine Yamal win the Ballon d'Or 2025? What do you guys think?
That's a very good question. Hammix, what do you think?
Because I was literally asking that question in my head. Will he win? Yes or no? If it simplified to yes or no, I would say I don't think he should win it this year. I think it's too fast. Like, I think it will like harm him more than do good for him. That's what I think. If you were to shoot the gun and say yes or no without no explanation,
I'm not like that though.
yeah, I don't care, bro. Tell me yes or no first.
Bro.
Tell me yes or no first,
Okay.
and then you can go on.
No.
No? Okay, you. Yes or
But
no?
let me
Should he win?
explain.
All right, you explain it, bro.
I told you. Remember when I told you when they were playing Champions League, and I said if Barcelona wins the final, with Lamine Yamal, I think he's gonna be considered the GOAT. But they didn't win.
So,
wait, like go?
So no.
Wait,
Yeah,
the whole
no.
time, like.
No, like as in like.
No, I told him, I was like, I'm not a prophet or nothing like that, but if Lamine Yamal with Barcelona wins the final in Champions League, he's gonna be considered the GOAT, and he's probably what's gonna win the Ballon d'Or. So no.
But he didn't win neither, so they didn't even make it to the final.
So no, he doesn't deserve.
it.
He doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think so.
deserve it.
You?
No.
Oh, you said no, right?
Yeah, I said no.
Why? Now go ahead, bro. I said no either.
Oh, okay. So here's my yap. My yap session.
Go ahead, bro.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he won the Ballon d'Or. I would have been like, okay, I see where
I'll
you're
be
coming
disappointed
from.
if he did win the.
Really?
If he
Oh,
does,
I understand.
If he does, I'd be disappointed.
Because would it like what his ego or whatever? Like.
No, I just be like, there's honestly like, even though like I hate to like, I think like
Barca fans, listen
PSG.
up.
I think PSG had a really good season this season, so I think that's great. And on top of that, there are players in PSG who are part of the Portugal team who also won the Nations League. So they're already at different levels already right now. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that. Okay, so again, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he won because I'd be like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, I'm like, there are things like that's been happening right now that you just can't ignore. Like for example, PSG winning the treble, winning the French league. But people could be like, oh, it's the French league. Who cares? Whatever. They won the French league. They won their trophy at the French trophy. They won the Champions League, right? And they're playing in the cup, the World Cup, right? So many things, especially Portugal, playing in the Nations League final and winning.
Yeah.
So many things that are happening, and Yamin was like not there, and I don't know, just like they're interesting because I've heard like people say like, oh, like if Lamine Yamal, if he wins the UEFA Nations League, then he's gonna win the Ballon d'Or. But then they saw that he didn't win it, and then they're like, no, the Nations League, it's not an actual trophy. Like, it's not a big deal, right? So it doesn't really matter. Yamin will still win, right?
That's just excuses,
so,
bro.
Yeah, just excuses, bro. So
and
again,
PSG has another chance to win another trophy in the Club World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So that's just like adding more layers.
Yeah. So I don't know. People are putting Dembele in the picture, right? But I want to propose a player, but. Oh yeah, I think Vitinha. I don't know if you guys know Vitinha.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
PSG,
bro,
right?
Vitinha, bro. Yeah,
Vitinha. In the PSG and in Portugal, right? I think he's shown great creativity in the midfield, great control of the midfield, right? He's played in PSG. He won the treble PSG, won the Champions League, right? Is in the Club World Cup, won a title with Ronaldo in Portugal, right? And I think he's done like so much for his club, his country. Right, to show enough that I think he's a good contender, even though no one's really talking about him.
Yeah, because one thing for in when it comes to countries or international, one thing is being a part of the international team. Another thing is having assists and goals and creating opportunities and being a key player in those matches, which again boosts up, or I think boosts up his Ballon d'Or rankings, or should boost him up.
Yeah, and also, sorry. Also, I
no,
think,
bro, you talked to me.
No, one more thing. I promise. Okay,
go ahead.
one more thing. So I think. I'm a Real Madrid fan, right? And I thought, all right, bro. I thought, in my opinion, right? Y'all can flame in the comments, but in my opinion, I think Vinny got robbed, right, of the Ballon d'Or last year. No, listen.
Last year.
Listen to me. Yeah, last year. Listen to me. I think Vinny got robbed, right? So that's why I'm kind of like, okay, if Vinny didn't win, like, why would Lamine win? I feel like Vinny was very like outspoken in the media as like Lamine Yamal. And he had great goals. He won the Champions League. Yamin didn't win the Champions League, stuff like that. And he didn't win. So I was like, okay, so
I think Brazil.
Brazil probably. But that's why to make it less of a like, oh, I don't know if Yamin will win, right? And also, what's his name? Rodrigo won. Mm-hmm. He did play in the Euros and he did win the Euros. But as you said, right, for your nation, it's about making assists and goals. He got subbed off, right? Yeah. So that's why it was a bit like, I don't know about that. But yeah, that's why I'm like a little, I don't know if Yamin will win. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins, but I don't know.
Speaking of that, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you. I remember somebody said, I think it was that guy. Remember Ribery? Remember Ribery from Bayern? The fast guy.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. That guy, I remember he was like, he told Ronaldo, he was like, oh, I won the Champions League and I didn't get the Ballon d'Or because that season he was crazy that season, and it was the Ronaldo Messi. Mm-hmm. So he was like, I won everything. I still didn't get nothing, but again, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, your turn.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, your turn, bro.
So are you guys telling me that, well, in your perspective, you think Vitinha should win the Ballon d'Or?
I think he's a better contender.
A better contender.
Yeah.
So you think he should win?
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. I just think anyone in the who's both in Portugal and PSG, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, even Dembele, which is that guy, bro.
I don't know about
that guy. But I think those three are in pretty good contenders. But I think in the order it should be like Portugal and PSG on top, and then Dembele but he's in the France team. But
watching Messi win
they
somehow,
got cool best things.
It's so funny, bro.
Messi wins. That would make no sense whatsoever.
Messi wins, I'll be like, wait, what?
There's no way. What will you do if Messi wins?
I would be like, wow, I would not care about the Ballon d'Or ever again, bro.
Bro, I'll be like, that is crazy, bro.
Ronaldo didn't win it. He was like, those awards don't matter, bro. They don't care, bro. Oh yeah, because he didn't win it, bro. Nice. But if anybody who's not like in the Portugal or the PSG team wins it, then it's like, I wouldn't understand. I'd be like, why?
Yeah. But Lamine Yamal, he's young. He has a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
His future is bright. But one of the things that that's gonna help him is that if he remains humble and he remains disciplined, right? Because we see, unfortunately as well, discipline is very important. Yeah. Because then they start partying, right? They start doing things that they should have been doing, right? He's 17.
17, bro.
So other than that, also he needs to be smart.
Yeah. Like he's gonna be at home recording.
That guy didn't even go to prom yet, bro.
He needs to be wise, and he needs to be surrounded by wise mentors. Not only building a legacy, but also building a foundation with the money that he gets. How to invest it. Because that's what makes the difference. So you guys think is Lamine Yamal the next big thing, or he's just being hyped?
I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
He is gonna be the next big thing, but he is being too overly hyped right now. So that's what I think.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that because
By answering it, bro.
because I feel like people said the same thing about Mbappe and that never worked. They were like, yo, Mbappe, yo, he's the next big thing, bro. And then, yo, 25, who cares about you? You know, so I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's being overhyped, but I do feel like if he stays on track of what he's doing and he stays, as you said, right, disciplined,
Yeah.
and he gets good mentors, what I think he will in Spain, like, you know, Danny, players there. I think if he stays on this trajectory, I think he will one day, you know, win Ballon d'Ors, one way win Champions Leagues. And then we'll talk about it then. So yeah.
We'll talk about him then. Nice.
How about you, friends? What do you guys think about Lamine Yamal? Will he be the next Lionel Messi?
Oh.
Is he gonna win the Ballon d'Or 2025? Let us know in the comments. But also, please don't forget to like this video, to share it, and to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So those that are subscribed and showing us love, thank you. We love you guys.
I love you,
and
bro.
we'll see you in the next episode, God willing.
Peace. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, it was ready. Yeah, keep that in, bro.